Today we're going to discuss what would happen if you actually ate the plant-based meats for about 2 weeks. What's interesting is that plant-based meats are positioned as clean meats, right? Environmental friendly. Why in the world would anyone want to eat fake meat in the first place? Well, because we all know that, regular meat causes cancer. That's right. I want to do a little deep dive on the science of that first of all. The studies relied exclusively on food. Questionnaires and observational studies out of the 800 articles that they looked at, they only focused on 17. In other words, they left out 783 of these articles. But what was very interesting about this topic, there was a new group that did an update evaluation on all the research regarding the relationship between red meat and cancer, and they came up with a slightly different conclusion. So this is by the Annual of Internal Medicine, and they were about to post several studies showing the evidence linking red meat consumption to cardiovascular disease and cancer is too weak to recommend that we eat less of it. I mean, this is based in 5 systematic reviews, on the most comprehensive review of evidence that's out there, and 4 were randomized control studies on red meat and health, and the 5th showed the health value of red meat. So the new guidelines basically says that we don't need to change our meat habits. No significant link to meat consumption, heart disease, diabetes, cancer in dozens of randomized control trials. But then it gets interesting because the editor-in-chief, Christine Lane, MD, before it was published, gets 2,000 emails in her inbox within 30 minutes, shutting down her email, from the same message from this organization called the True Health Initiative. But this is an organization that really supports veganism, plant-based type things. I mean, what I thought was interesting was using bots to overwhelm someone's email to create this illusion that there's a lot of people that are fighting this thing. And David Katz compared the article to information terrorism that can blow to Smith in the life's work of careful scientists. I mean, let's compare that to the world being flat, right? And then scientists finding out its round things do change in medicine, and we can read through the lines. And there's some serious forces behind this, because 3 weeks after the release, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine asked the District Attorney of Philadelphia to investigate for potential reckless endangerment resulting from the release of the publication. And that same group, before it was published, filed a petition to the FTC to correct the statements regarding the consumption of meat being released. So you could see there was a lot of pushback to have this factual study, this new release, and saying that meat is okay. So the next thing I want to shift to is plant-based meats. Okay, I just want to read the ingredients to Morningstar water wheat, gluten soy protein, concentrate vegetable oils, it's the seed oils, corn canola or sunflower soy flour. Soy protein isolates maltodextrin potato starch, sugar more soybeans. Now you also have Beyond Burger, which actually has seed oils like canola oil, potato starch, maltodextrin modified food starch, and then the Impossible. Burger has dextrose modified food starch, and another ingredient called soy leg hemoglobin, which is genetically modified. So in other words, there are a lot of, shall we say, ultra-processed ingredients, aka junk food ingredients in these products. All of those ingredients are seeds. And so you're going to take these seeds and extremely process them, which means alter them to a state that no longer resembles the original seed. I mean, let's just take the corn, for example. They don't use sweet corn, it's dent corn. Dent corn is not edible. This is how they make your corn chips, your tortillas, as well as the corn syrup. And then they take the same ingredients, and they feed it to the animals, that you eat. I mean, what you should really call this stuff is ultra-pressed seed meat, because that's really what it is. And don't believe the hype where they talk about, plant-based meat is identical to real meat. It's not. There's been an interesting metabolomic study, which is a high-level deep dive looking at all of the different compounds in both things, showing that 171 of the compounds were different than the total of 190. And so the plant-based versus the actual meat is very, very different. It's not the same at all. So the next time you're at the store, just go ahead and grab some of these products to start reading the label. I think you're going to be shocked. Now, the most important thing for you to know now is the true benefit of real meat. And for that information, check out this video right here.